Ethan loved to fly. It was in his blood. From a young age, he would spend hours watching birds soar through the sky, dreaming of the day he could join them. Now, with his trusty plane, the Whirlwind, and his quirky AI co-pilot, Chirp, he was living his dream. Today's mission was simple: deliver a package to a remote village nestled among the clouds.
Piece of cake,
Ethan said with a grin, adjusting his goggles.
Don't underestimate the weather, Captain Overconfident.
Ethan just laughed. He loved bantering with Chirp. The Whirlwind sputtered to life, its propeller slicing through the air. Ethan pulled back on the control stick and they were airborne, soaring through the bright morning sky. The wind whipped through his hair, carrying the scent of adventure. Ethan whooped with delight. This was the life.
Relax, buddy, it's just a little trip.
Famous last words, Captain. Remember the Great Pie Incident of 24?
Ethan chuckled, remembering the day he'd tried to eat a blueberry pie while flying. Let's just say the Whirlwind's cockpit still bore the purple stains.
That was one time, Chirp. Besides, this time I packed sandwiches.
He winked, pulling out a crumpled paper bag. Chirp could only sigh. It knew there was no reasoning with Ethan when he was determined to have fun, and fun they would definitely have. The sky, once a brilliant blue, began to darken. Ominous grey clouds gathered on the horizon, casting an eerie glow over the Whirlwind. Ethan, ever the optimist, barely noticed. He was busy humming a jaunty tune, completely engrossed in his sandwich.
Ethan, those are no ordinary clouds. We need to turn back.
Nah, it's probably just a drizzle.
Ethan mumbled through a mouthful of bread. He glanced at the sky, finally registering the swirling mass of darkness ahead.
Okay, maybe a bit more than a drizzle.
The wind picked up, buffeting the Whirlwind like a toy. Rain lashed against the cockpit window, blurring their vision.
See, I told you, we need to find shelter.
But it was too late. The storm had them in its grasp. Lightning flashed, momentarily illuminating the swirling vortex of clouds. Ethan fought to control the plane, his knuckles white on the control stick. The Whirlwind shuddered violently, caught in a fierce updraft.
Chirp, I don't like this.
Ethan shouted, fear creeping into his voice. Just then, a deafening clap of thunder shook the very air around them. The Whirlwind lurched, its engine sputtering, and then everything went black. Ethan awoke to the sound of the wind whistling through the wreckage of the Whirlwind. He groaned, his head pounding. He was alive, but where was he? He unbuckled his seatbelt and stumbled out of the plane. He found himself on a floating island surrounded by a sea of fluffy white clouds. Strange luminous plants grew in abundance, bathing the island in an ethereal glow.
Remarkable,
a voice said from behind him. Ethan whirled around. Standing before him was a girl about his age, with bright, curious eyes and a mischievous smile. Her clothes were simple but practical, stained with oil and grease.
You made quite an entrance.
She chuckled, gesturing to the mangled remains of the Whirlwind.
I'm Kaya.
Ethan, where am I? How did I get here?
Kaya raised an eyebrow, amused by his bewilderment.
You're on Erosia, the floating island. And that storm you flew into, that's our little problem.
She pointed to the center of the island where a colossal structure pulsed with an ominous red light.
The weather engine. It's malfunctioning, causing all sorts of chaos.
Ethan, never one to shy away from a challenge, felt a surge of excitement.
A malfunctioning weather machine, you say? Sounds like a job for a skilled pilot and his, well, somewhat competent AI.
He turned to look for Chirp, who was half buried under a pile of luggage, its metallic body twitching.
Chirp, come on, buddy. Time for a new adventure.
Does it have to be an adventure? Can't we just have a nice, quiet cup of oil for once?
Erosia was a place of wonder and danger. Ethan, with his innate curiosity, was eager to explore its secrets. The air hummed with a strange energy, and the plants pulsed with an otherworldly luminescence. The island floated amidst a sea of clouds, held aloft by some unseen force.
Erosia thrives on a delicate balance of technology and nature, powered by the weather engine. The engine controls the weather, providing us with sunlight, rain and wind. But lately, it's been acting up, creating those terrible storms. My people are trapped here, unable to leave. You have to help us, Ethan. You're our only hope.
Ethan felt a surge of responsibility. He had stumbled upon this incredible place, and now he was being asked to save it. He wasn't sure he was up to the task, but he couldn't turn his back on those in need.
Don't worry, Kaya. We'll figure this out together. Right, Chirp?
Don't get your hopes up, Captain. This thing is way beyond my pay grade.
As they approached the weather engine, the air grew heavy with a strange energy. The ground vibrated beneath their feet. The engine, a massive structure of interwoven metal and glowing crystals, pulsed with an erratic red light. Ethan had never seen anything like it.
What happened?
Kaya shook her head, her face etched with worry.
I don't know. It's like something woke it up.
Kaya led Ethan through a labyrinth of tunnels and corridors, the air thick with the scent of ozone and machine oil. The weather engine was even more impressive up close, a marvel of ancient technology. Kaya, a skilled mechanic, immediately set to work, her nimble fingers dancing across the control panels. Ethan, though out of his element, was eager to help. He handed her tools, his eyes wide with fascination, as she explained the intricacies of the engine.
It's like a giant puzzle. Everything has to be perfectly aligned for it to work properly. There's something interfering with the engine's core, something I can't quite pinpoint. We need to get to the central control room. That's where we'll find the source of the problem.
The journey to the control room was fraught with challenges. They had to navigate through narrow catwalks, dodge sparks from malfunctioning machinery, and even outrun a swarm of mischievous glowing critters that called the engine home. Throughout it all, Ethan and Kaya worked together, their teamwork growing stronger with each obstacle they overcame. Ethan, though initially intimidated by the task at hand, found himself enjoying the challenge. He had always been a hands-on learner, and working alongside Kaya, he began to grasp the basic principles of the weather engine. He was amazed by her knowledge and her unwavering determination to save her people. As they finally reached the control room, exhausted but exhilarated, Ethan couldn't help but feel a sense of accomplishment. He had faced his fears, embraced the unknown, and discovered a hidden strength within himself. He looked at Kaya, her face smudged with grease and her eyes shining with triumph, and knew that together they could fix this.